I'm Nadia Gurwell.
I'm John Goliatino.
I'm Michelle Blanchard. Welcome to 30 Minutes.
Hello everyone, this is Nadia Gurwell, your host today, and my guest for today's show is Doris Hanley. Am I saying it right?
You are.
Yes, okay. She is a health and wellness mompreneur, and she's going to be telling us today how she balances her business and having kids at the same time. So it's going to be a great show. Make sure to share the show. There's a lot of moms out there that could benefit from this information. So Doris, thank you for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
I'm excited to have this conversation with you today. And so let's get right into it.
Okay.
Tell me about yourself. Tell me about your background.
Okay, so my background is one of always being very interested in health and fitness. And I went to college, University of New Hampshire. Was 18 when I met my husband there. Actually majored in political science, and then after that moved on to Hyatt, where I was in sales and marketing. And then from there, I helped launch Nespresso into the United States.
Yeah, you were telling me that. It's very cool.
Yeah, so that's a subsidiary of Nestle in Switzerland. And I just was running myself ragged, going from one end of the country to the other, launching a new product. So sales and marketing again was that. And then from there, got pregnant, and upon conception with my first son, about a week later, couldn't walk. Had severe pains in my back, my ribs, my neck. Nobody knew what was wrong or what was going on. I had been a fitness instructor for about 9 years at that point. I was feeling healthy and fit. So it just goes to show you, you just never know when life is going to throw you a curveball.
Definitely.
So from that point on, I actually stopped working and raised 3 boys.
Wow.
And in the process of all that, was always looking for holistic ways to be able to help myself. I was able to walk again, but through medication and...
so what was the diagnosis?
It's something called ankylosing spondylitis. So it's a mouthful, but it means arthritis of your spine, basically.
That's painful.
Yeah, it was painful.
And you were young.
Yes,
to be
I was
having
young.
That. Yeah.
Yes, I was young. Didn't ever see that as something that would define me, though, and I'm a fighter deep down. So always kept my ear to really all the latest news on health and nutrition and what people can do to help themselves. And that kind of set me on a path to about 15 years of a lot of ups and downs, a lot of getting better, getting worse, getting better, getting worse, the not knowing what the future has to hold, to a friend of mine who teaches nutrition courses. She's a professor at WestConn and Naugatuck Valley, saying, you might want to look at something. It's fruits and vegetables in a capsule. And I thought, I'd never heard of it, and I would like to look into it. And sure, why not? It was a snow day. My kids were all home that day. And who would have thought that something so small could change my life forever? So,
and at that point, I'm sure you were open to anything. Not just anything, but something that could make a big difference in how you were feeling.
For sure. I mean, pain is the kind of thing that will bring you to your knees over time. So yeah.
For sure. Oh, definitely.
You become very open.
Yeah, you look at all the options, and this was one of them. But so when you got into this whole crusade of eating healthier, eating clean, I'm sure that also took a big presence in your house.
Right.
With the kids.
Yes. So we were a juicing family, definitely, and I was doing it in a medicinal way at the time for about 3 years. So very frustrated juicer. It's very hard, time-consuming, messy. But at the same time, my kids were seeing that, and so they became like smoothie experts. So it's kind of nice to see that when they came home from school, they would want to make a smoothie rather than a bag of Fritos or whatever.
That's great. It's really good to get your kids on it early on, to build the foundation of what they should be eating versus the easy stuff, stuff that tastes good, sugar and cookies and
the processed foods.
Right.
Yeah.
And getting them to juice not easy. My kids don't like it.
Right, right.
So I give you a lot of credit for getting them
Well,
on
when there's
that.
nothing else in the house.
Oh, really?
Well, you know.
Well, then
as
they
much
had
as I
no
could.
option then.
Right, right. No, but we're pretty balanced.
Are
you know,
you?
it's not like I'm a health food freak or anything like that.
Well, no, you
know.
can't be. It
No.
has to be moderation.
We keep it real.
Yeah.
For sure.
Definitely. So how does it, what you're doing now, right? How does that differ, I mean, from your corporate life? Are you happier? Do you
It's
feel more
so different.
fulfilled?
All great questions. So when I was in corporate, my schedule was not my own. My bosses were
Right.
telling me what to do, where to do it, and how to do it. And I was not in control of my schedule, so I was really running ragged, especially if you're kind of an A-type personality, or if you like to do the best that you possibly can. You will definitely wear yourself out, you know, in corporate America, because the more you take on, they're more than happy to give it to you. Not always the biggest sense of fulfillment came from all that busy work for me. And so when I switched gears, when I heard about this opportunity to be able to help others by basically being a real mom and telling more than just my family to eat their fruits and vegetables,
Right,
but
yeah.
to take it on a larger scale, that spoke to me on so many levels, and it was meaningful work. It was mission oriented. It's to inspire others to increase their healthy choices is just the most fulfilling thing I could think of doing.
Well,
So-
you were looking also to make a big impact
Right.
in other people's lives, and how nice is that?
And it
Really.
didn't happen overnight. It was
I'm sure.
really started a smaller thought process was, wow, if I could just reduce the medication I'm on.
Yeah.
And then year after year after
It got
year.
better.
Got better and better. And actually today I'm completely medication free for about 300 days.
That's great.
So it's been, you know, work in
Yeah.
progress, but nutrition takes time. It's not an overnight success
No.
story for sure.
No, but it also, you know, once you change like the way that you're eating, it really becomes, it's a mindset first of all, before you actually do implement it. But once you get like on that bandwagon of eating clean, then you feel good.
Yeah.
You feel, I mean, you think better, you act better, you sleep better.
Yeah.
Just, you know, it balances you out.
Oh, for sure. Like you won't be as mucusy, you won't
Right.
get the big cold. I
Right.
don't have to worry about a flu shot, you know.
Right, yeah. Yeah.
Just fuel up with whole food.
Yeah, and everything, you know, I tell my clients this, I tell everyone this, everything that you eat, that you put into your mouth has like a immediate impact on your brain. Immediate. So you have to be careful what you're consuming.
Right.
Because it affects, you know, like what you eat has a big impact on depression, anxiety, you know, inflammation.
Yep.
It's all contributed to what you're eating.
Right.
So it's very important. Now your husband,
Yeah.
he's very supportive.
Very
you were telling me.
supportive.
That's great.
I don't mean to paint like a rosier than rosy picture either, but I'd like to share why.
Yeah.
Just for the time that I wasn't working and raising our kids, I noticed that he was building his own little empire. He's self-employed, and his business is insurance and investments, and he was always there to coach my kids. We're a big hockey family. I noticed he was calm. He was his own boss. He was home for dinner. He was around on the weekends.
And you were jealous?
No, I loved it. I appreciated it,
liked
but
it,
I got
okay.
so used to it too,
Okay.
that when I saw the opportunity arise for myself, I was always thinking, oh, I can't have a boss and ask for vacation. Like, I need to be able to go. Like, if we want 3 weeks off or 4 weeks here, we got to be able to do that. And so this allowed me the flexibility and the time freedom, not to sound cliche, but it really did. It was a way to grow a business alongside my kids. That was
Right.
my priority. To still be able to get dinner on the table for the whole family to sit down and enjoy. Like, most people don't have stories like that anymore. And I always felt very blessed that I could put a headset on, make a few phone calls, but do laundry at the same time. So he loved it. You know, he thought, this is terrific.
Yeah, no, it's great that he was supportive and that he saw the vision
Yeah.
also of where this could go
For sure.
with you. And that also that he saw and he perceived like the flexibility in it. Because like you said, you were home to watch your kids grow. Like
Right.
if they were sick one day, you had the luxury that you could stay home with them.
Right.
That you didn't
We
have
were used to that.
Right. You didn't have to call your boss and say, I can't come in. And
Right.
then he'd be like, well, you don't have a job.
Right. which would be scary, and I totally feel for people who are in that situation.
Yeah. What does a day of work look like for you?
All right, that's a great question. So it's different all the time. So like right now I'm sitting here talking to you. Who would have thought that I would have an opportunity to talk to somebody
We're
like
happy
you?
to have you.
That's
Definitely.
awesome. It's really great. So fun and exciting and different every day. But if I want, I can be in my pajamas and slippers making phone calls from my home. It's definitely considered network marketing. So what I have is a franchise. So you sign up for a franchise, but what I like to think of it as a franchise, because I've made so many new friends. I'm so involved in the health and wellness community. I belong to networking groups, Ridgefield, in Newtown. So a day can be going to a few networking events and then meeting a friend for lunch and then meeting somebody else for tea. So I do a lot of like one-on-ones with people, but really just getting to know people and just understanding what their goals are and then trying to see if what I have to offer could help them. That's basically all I do. I'm just a people person.
No, you definitely come across as that. And with network marketing, the best business for women, hands down. I fully believe it, and 110%. Like I was telling you before, there's no other business that gives that kind of flexibility. The residual income that comes with it. You're able to do it in your pockets of time. Great for moms, and like you said, the instant friendships that you gain from it. Also, it's a culture that you're.
Yeah, we get to go through life together.
Yeah,
build long-term relationships and really go through the journey of health and wellness with people is fun.
Yeah, and a lot of personal growth.
Yeah.
A lot. Tell me about that. How's that been for you?
That has been wild. So as far as personal, so they say our business is personal growth disguised as a business. Didn't understand what that meant. 8-9 years ago when I first got into this, I thought, well, I have a sales and marketing background.
Totally different than personal
Completely.
growth.
It almost works against you if you have that background.
Yes. Because you see it in a different light.
Completely. And I just realized, wow, instead of leading with my head, it wasn't all about busy and numbers and meeting quotas and deadlines. It had nothing to do with that. It had everything to do with leading with your heart and doing what feels right and really growing long-term relationships with people that you care about and beyond in your community, making a difference one person at a time. It was never going to be quick and easy. It's not like talking to the masses or anything like that. It's so personal and it's so intimate, and I really get to know my customers and I really get to know the people I work with. So it's just been a relationship ride that I would never trade for anything.
Oh, yeah, personal growth is very important for any kind of business. It's crucial. Now, with your clients, right, who buy the the packages and all that every month, what percentage do you see that actually stick with it, that do develop a healthy lifestyle?
Well, it just happens that what we have is a lifestyle product. So right up front, I almost try and scare people away if they want to try it. So if somebody wants to try it,
Really?
If someone wants to try it for a week, they won't notice anything. If someone wants to, it'd be like eating a carrot for a week. How do you feel after that?
Right.
If you ate a carrot every day for a week, what was that really going to do for you?
Not much. No.
So
Not much. Nope.
So really all I do is educate and in little snippets, whatever somebody is ready to absorb. But I tell people right out of the gate, look, your body is the way it is after many years. You got to give nutrition time, and
It's going to take a while.
It's
At
gonna
least
take a while.
couple of months.
Your red blood cells take 4 months to renew. Muscle cells, 8 months. So why do we think a week or a month is going to help anything?
And why do you think they think that?
Because they're out there for the quick fix. Because there's so many commercials out there saying, look better in a week, lose 10 pounds in a month,
But instant gratification. And don't we all want that?
Right. That's our society. So I just educate and just stay calm and try and guide them and educate further and further. And a lot of times they'll make it over that 1 year mark. And then I have plenty of customers that were with me from the beginning just because, hey, once your kids aren't missing school,
Yeah.
once you're feeling more energetic, it's kind of hard to give it up. So.
Yeah. So what do they tell you after using it for a month or two? What are they like raving about?
It can be different for everybody, but a month or two, sometimes people have like a little bit of achy knees, something like that, a kind of subtle ache, not like all out, rheumatism or whatever, but some little aches and pains can just fade away. Little coughs, sinus congestion, energy levels, little subtle things that sometimes they don't even realize is the benefit of what they've been taking. They don't attribute it to 30 different fruits and vegetables going through their system every day. They're coming to me, let's say, for a heart condition, and their doctor said to eat more fruits and vegetables, and they thought maybe this might help. Well, that's a big problem, but there's many little subtle things that can be healed before the big situation is addressed, so just have to give it time.
Yeah. Now, do you find that they also change their eating habits, or are they just...
Yes, because that's a big part of what we do is just educate.
Yeah.
So as much as possible, we're always telling people this doesn't replace eating fruits and vegetables. You need to have as many as you can.
Maybe they'll think that. They'll think if I take this one little capsule every day, then I don't have to drastically modify.
Right. So I try really hard to educate on that too.
What I'm eating.
Yep. And we say drink more water, get more sleep, all these things contribute to a healthy lifestyle. And if it's too overwhelming, make one simple change. And just see it through, and that's where it'll have a big effect for you down the road. You just have to be patient.
Yeah. And then, definitely, if you, like you said, if you make one small change, you don't try to do everything in a day, in a week, in 30 days, because then you get overwhelmed, you get frustrated, you're not getting the results that you're looking for, and then it's like, okay, this doesn't work, so I'm not gonna do it anymore.
Right.
Why bother?
Right, exactly.
Why bother? Now, let's see, for the next year, right? I did next year, because I think a year is like a conservative amount of time, because you don't know, what could happen in 5 years. So for the next year, what's your vision?
For my personal vision for the year coming up.
Yeah.
It's funny. Every year I come up with sort of a theme. And so last year, my theme was to heal. And I really focused on healing. Okay. And I've done it. So that was the year to heal. I had no idea how it was going to happen, but I just opened myself up to possibilities. And I read a book by Shonda Rhimes called Year of Yes, and I started saying yes. So that was just the most exciting ride that I was just on, that I can't even believe it's been a year, but I just started saying yes to different holistic people in my life, and voila, all of a sudden, not all of a sudden, but over time, and this year I dramatically changed from the inside out so that I could get off medication and kick that problem down the road. So it was once a chronic condition, all medical doctors said, you'll never get rid of that, and I did. So this year, it's kind of like, what else is in store for me? What else could be that spectacular, But the word different popped up, and I just know it's going to be a different year. So my vision this year is to be open to things that are different. And I'm sitting here with you already. It's just the beginning of the year. It's already happening. So my vision has a lot to do with vision boards, theme songs. I talk about these things with my team all the time, because the power of your thoughts and your words
is powerful.
Is so powerful.
Yeah, you are what you think.
You really are.
Yeah.
And I fully appreciate that. And that's my vision this year, is to be different and to see where that takes me. Because
is it different, like you're getting out of your comfort zone?
Yeah,
more?
A little bit of that.
Is that it?
Yeah. I think it's more of that. Being more confident to tell a story and be brave about it and secure and know what you know, and just have fun. I mean, really, just lead with your heart and have some fun. That's what I'm looking to do.
Now, how important do you think it is to celebrate the little wins?
Absolutely, I do that with my team every day.
Because everyone is always for the big one.
Yeah.
The big win, when's my big opportunity, my big breakthrough. But
that's not life.
But it's the little ones that add up, and then you get the big one.
That's right. It's exactly, you hit the nail on the head. I don't even have to say anything. It's so true. It's just on my team, we celebrate every little victory. everything gets applauded. We make a big deal out of each other and pat each other on the back all day long, every day. It's a great environment to be in.
Yeah.
A real can-do spirit, big dreams, but it takes a lot of little steps to make the big dreams happen.
Yeah,
So,
it's important to celebrate them because it keeps you going.
Right.
Also, now,
Right.
let's get back into your kids again.
Okay.
Tell me about your kids. How do you keep them from not gravitating all the time? Or but first, okay, I think I got the hint that you don't keep like a lot of food in your house that's processed and could, so
not
maybe
a
we don't
ton of
have an
process.
option.
Right, not a lot of process, but again, I had the luxury of being able to cook.
Okay.
So that's always been a big thing, and I made it fun, even when the kids were little, going to the grocery store, picking the ugliest fruit and then eating it. Like things like that. So we were always kind of adventurous with food, and I made it into really the kind of the central thing at the end of a day was to top it off with a good meal. So they appreciated food. I didn't have a picky eater. So I mean, we eat butter and cream and things like that.
Right. Which is very good for you.
It's fine.
Fat and protein.
It's just real food, right?
Yes.
Along with salads and all these
Now,
other
were you
things.
eating like this before?
Yeah, my whole life.
Okay.
I
That
come
makes
from
sense.
immigrant parents.
Okay.
Mhm. So my mom, both are German, and I'm first generation here in the States. And yeah, we always sat down as a family for dinner. So I just knew no other way, and wanted to instill that with my kids. So yeah, they love to eat. They love food. Not a picky one in the bunch.
Are you gluten-free?
No, I'm not. A lot of times I'll take a break from gluten. I do try and limit it. So in the morning I'll have like Udi's gluten-free bread
Yeah.
instead of having regular toast. And if I can, stay away from wheat as much as possible, I do, but not for any real specific health reason.
Okay. And what about dairy?
I do have light cream in my cup of coffee every morning, but other than that, I try and stay away from dairy as well, because we all know that dairy leaches
inflammatory.
calcium from your bones, and it's inflammatory.
Yeah.
Exactly.
What about, but you're not vegan,
Nope.
right?
No, I eat meat. I eat everything. Very well-rounded diet.
Yeah. Now, so does the company they also have supplements, or it's just the,
Yeah, it's actually vine ripened produce in a capsule,
Okay.
or a chewy.
right.
And it is the most researched whole food supplement in the world. So
Okay.
a lot of medical journals and nutrition journals, et cetera, that it appears in. So.
Doris, what are your final thoughts? What do you want to leave us with, especially your message for moms?
Oh, for moms, that's really where my heart goes, because I am interested always in meeting as many, moms that are looking for something of value to do, some purpose, and I would just say that all moms, I don't care who you are or how busy you are, I have made countless observations in this, so I'm just going to share it. It's a little controversial, but I think a lot of times moms, especially in conversation with other moms, sort of try to outdo each other with how busy they are. So they'll come with their lists.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah. They'll talk about, the dry cleaners and
Supermom.
All this stuff, right? And I have realized over time, just looking at really hundreds of moms, that the most successful moms are the ones that actually don't do that. So the ones that have their head down and they're too busy to call you back, and they're too busy to do this and do that, and they're always talking about how stressed and how tired and how all these things. I would just say that when you're a living human being, isn't it wonderful that we have a place to bring our clothes when they're dirty, a dry cleaner? Isn't it great that we don't need to live on a farm? We have a grocery store. All these things are set up to make our life a little easier, and we are so blessed to have them. And that if you have a family that's going through the food that you purchase and you have to buy the next week more groceries, isn't that wonderful? It's all really a perspective. So instead of looking at all these things as dragging you down, wouldn't it be wonderful to just live in a world where you're grateful that you have these things and feel blessed? And then think to yourself, what can I do to make this world a better place in my own little way? And I don't mean anything great, and it doesn't have to cost money, but it's a mindset. It's just, what can I do? Maybe it's give a smile to somebody
Right.
while I'm picking up my groceries. Maybe it's just, I don't know, helping somebody push their cart in the right place, or whatever you're doing. there's so much we can do
Yes.
for each other and just
Yes.
elevate the conversation a little bit.
And help each other out.
Yeah.
Help each other
And
out.
don't be so stressed and angry, because that won't get you anywhere. That keeps you at a low vibration. We want to
Yes.
bring the vibration up, right?
But why also put this, this front that you're super busy, that you're super mom, that you have it all under control, that you can do all these activities with the kids and still clean the house and make dinner for your husband and go to work. I mean, what are you trying to prove?
Right. Just be you. Be comfortable
Yeah.
being you. Do what you can, but you don't have to pepper the whole world with how busy and stressed you are.
Why do you think they do that?
I don't know, but I do know that the most successful people I come across don't do that. So if you look at like an Oprah, right? If we go like off the Richter scale, she's got all the same stresses in life, but look at how she's elevated her conversation, just saying. So there's so many people that we can try and emulate, or people that we can look at for advice and guidance, and just try and, I think, elevate the conversation a little bit with each other.
Yeah.
Rather than talking about your to-do list, why not make it heartfelt and talk about your kids, or talk about something that you're working on, that kind of thing. So,
Or just take a day out of the week just to do nothing.
or that.
Also,
Don't
just-
beat yourself up.
Right.
Do it if you need it.
Yeah, let your husband watch the kids and you just go get your nails done, or just watch Lifetime if you want all day long and eat a bag of organic gummy worms with it. Right? Or just don't have an agenda for a day, or out of the month, out of every 2 weeks, whichever.
And I think what you're saying is sometimes you have to slow down to
Yes.
speed up.
Yes.
And that is I think that's the secret sauce right there. Just slow down, create balance in your
Which
life.
I'm having a hard time with, but
Then you can speed up again. Yeah.
I've been slowed down quite a bit.
Well.
But Doris, it's great to have you on.
Oh, it was so nice to
Thank
meet you
know,
and get to
thank-
talk to you.
Thank you for coming on and sharing with us. Your story is very impactful. I know that it's going to make a big difference in a lot of moms' lives. That you can somewhat have it all. You can't have the business. You can have the marriage. You can have the kids. And like you said, it's just a balance.
Right. Right.
Of it, not putting too much on yourself where you don't fulfill all that, and then you feel like a failure.
Right.
For it. But
Right.
like I said, thank you for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
Happy
I appreciate it.
to have you. How do people contact you?
Facebook is a great place to contact
Okay.
me. Private message me, Doris Hanley.
Yeah. So it's Doris Hanley /Facebook. Right. But yeah, on the video that we're doing live, I'll put it, I'll tag you on it. And like I said, thank you for coming on. Thank you for
Okay.
watching. Good
Thank
night.
you.
Okay. We're done.